friend. Welcome to Everyday Imperfect, the podcast for busy people with imperfect faith. I'm Tabitha Ruiz, pastor's wife, mom, author, speaker, and a very imperfect believer in Jesus. I've had to wrestle through some pretty dark times in my faith, all while keeping that mask of perfection in place. Till finally I realized that having faith doesn't mean that you don't have doubts or questions. Just because we have doubts and questions does not make us less of a Christian. It means we are a Christian with questions. And you know what? It is okay for us to have imperfect faith. We have a perfect God. So if your faith needs a little boost today, crank those AirPods up and borrow a cup of imperfect faith from us today. Let's go. Hey friend, thank you for joining us on the Everyday Imperfect podcast. My name is Tabitha Ruiz, and I know that this time of the year is crazy busy. So thank you even more for taking time out of your busy schedule to join your faith with us, or as we say in the intro, to borrow a cup of our imperfect faith today. Since it is the Christmas season when we first record this. This is actually going to be airing the week before Christmas, and we did this intentionally because we want to make sure that we leave plenty of time to really get this word into you during this Christmas season. I don't know about you guys, but I look forward to Christmas every year. It's my favorite time of the year, but unfortunately, it is also the busiest time of the year. And especially as a ministry family, we tend to get overbooked, you might say, quite a bit. But I still look forward to it so much, not just because of the family aspect and getting to love on each other a little bit, because we always make time for family, but we also make time, or at least we try to, for the Lord to really remember where we come from and why we're even doing all the stuff that we do. So I know probably just as well as any of you guys what it's like to do all the work for Christmas, because you get ready for it, for the most part we enjoy it, we look forward to it, but then in the middle of the Christmas season, usually for me, in doing all this work, the decorating, having people over, planning this party or going to that party or doing this Christmas shopping or whatever it is that we all have to put on our calendar for this time of the year, we realize that we are dead tired and we're not looking forward to Christmas at all because we are just so stressed out about it. And, I know that I'm not the only one that goes through this, but you wind up just getting burnt out. And even though we start the year with good intentions, like this year, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to decorate a little bit, or I'm going to have all the presents bought by the 15th, or this year we're going to stay in our budget. We're not going to be tempted to go overboard or anything like that. And even though we have all those well-meaning plans, inevitably we just reach a point where I'm just like, you know what? Who cares? We just gonna get this done. Like, even to the point that, like, I love gift giving. I love being able to go out and find the exact perfect gift for someone, which, to be fair, anymore, that version looks like ordering it on Amazon. But I just like knowing that I know somebody well enough to know what they're going to enjoy receiving, not just something to check off of a list. And I believe that's what makes someone a good gift giver. I received a gift just this week from somebody who noticed that I had put something on my Facebook timeline. And even though I had not had a conversation with this person, she knew that I was looking for something. So she decided to gift it to me. And I thought, that is so the definition of a good gift giver, just someone who just knows that person so well. It doesn't have to be extravagant. It's just that you have taken time to realize that you know someone. You've taken the time to pay attention, and you know what they're going to like. So that's what you decide to gift them with. Well, inevitably, like I was saying, it gets to the point that as much as I love giving gifts, as much as I love knowing those people and knowing exactly what they're going to look forward to unwrapping, I tend to get to the point where I'm like, you know what? Who cares? We're just going to do what we're going to do, and hopefully it's good enough. And you just try to survive the remainder of the holidays with your family, of course, because that is, at least here on earth, the most important part. And notice I did say survive here, not necessarily enjoy. And I don't think that I'm the only one that overthinks or overanalyzes things. Like when it comes to the gifts, which I know I do this to myself, but like I'll overanalyze things, just wondering like, when I give this gift to this child, are the parents going to get offended? What if we forget someone? Do I need to buy the boss a gift this year? What if one of the gifts that we buy for one of the nieces or nephews gets left at the house and we don't realize it until we get to the grandparents' house? And what if we just ruin Christmas? But you know what? All of that overanalyzing and overthinking just makes it worse, doesn't it? In the midst of those times, that's when you really feel like I don't have any inkling of what this whole spirit of Christmas is about. In fact, the spirit of Christmas, if you want to call it that, tends to be pretty elusive about the third week of Christmas or the third week of December, to me anyway. So I wanted to share with you, because Everyday Imperfect is a podcast about how we blend our imperfect faith with everyday living, right? So I wanted to just share with you guys just a couple or three things that I have found helps with making sure that our emphasis on Christmas isn't lessened, and so that we can hopefully find a little bit more meaning in it than previous years. So for the first thing, I think the best thing I've found to do over the years is just to find something routine for this time of the year and stick with it. Now, we all know that routines can be calming, but we also know that the Christmas season does not lend itself kindly to routines. So instead of stressing about keeping to your exact routine every single day, let's just find one thing that's there for you and your mental health and stick to that one thing. Maybe it's carving out to enjoy a cup of coffee in the morning before the rest of the house wakes up, or taking a walk on your lunch break outside, or maybe on your drive into work, turning the radio off for some Jesus time, whether it be in prayer or a podcast, or I don't know, maybe some worship music. Something that feeds your soul. But find that one thing to do and make sure you have a little bit of time each day to do it. It doesn't have to take an hour, just a few minutes, and try to your best to do that every day. And I promise that will help. Again, you're not making a routine of the entire day. You're just making a routine of one thing a day in this very, very busy season.
Hey friend, I just want to let you know about something that I think is pretty special. There's a new way for you to get even more out of being a part of the Everyday Imperfect family. Check the show notes to find out how you can help be a sponsor of the podcast by joining our Patreon group of supporters. There's an added bonus content that you can discover on every level of giving. Would you consider helping us to get this message out to all the other imperfect people just like us?
Now, number 2, I have learned the way that you make sure that you protect that Christmas spirit that we are looking for is you say no. That's right. Just learn how to say no. I don't know about you, but I love being with people during the holidays. But I've learned this about myself too. When I have something planned every single night of a given week, my anxiety level goes through the roof. And I'm talking like at the beginning of the week, I'm already stressed out and exhausted because I know what the rest of the week is going to look like, and I'm not going to have any downtime. And you all know what it is when mom is stressed out. It affects the entire family. So this year, I've been trying to practice the art of a gracious no, and I'm going to give you a little tip. Sometimes all you have to say is, no, thank you, though. Nobody else needs to know the why. Nobody needs to know what's going on instead. You just set that boundary to say, no, thank you, though, and let that be it. I know it's important to go to some things, work parties and church events, etc., etc. So when we can, we're hosting some things at our house, and some things we're trying to combine. But some we'll just have to ask to meet up with after the holidays. Before you get worked up over that, remember your friends will likely understand if you feel the need to tell them that you're trying to have an intentionally less busy season. But again, you don't have to tell them why. Just politely decline and then immediately ask for an alternative get together date so that they can see that it is important to you, but you just have to work it in at a better time. Okay, so number 3, very quickly, we've already talked about finding something routine for you and your Jesus time and sticking with it, saying no, and the art of saying no graciously. And then number 3, super, super important. Okay, so the last step in protecting that Christmas spirit, as we're calling it, so that we're not as burnt out and just ready for everything to be over. Number 3, remember why. And I know that this sounds cliche just to say that Jesus is the reason for the season, but y'all, it's true. As much as I love giving gifts to the church people and everyone around me, as much excitement as the lights and music of the season can bring, as much joy as I get from being around family that I haven't seen in months, none of that is the reason that we get to experience all of that. My little family has a tradition of buying one special ornament each year. We have so many now that we have actually outgrown the special tree we used to have, and we had to buy another tree, bigger tree, to keep all of our special ornaments on that tree. We have a nice, pretty, coordinating, matchy tree, but then we have our special tree where nothing matches. But every ornament on that special tree was either handmade or has some special significance to that year that we bought it. One year, my husband and I picked out a very special Hallmark ornament for us. And to be honest, when we picked it out, I didn't realize how important this ornament was going to be to our family. But over the years, I want to say we've had this thing, gosh, at least maybe 15 years now. But over the years, it has absolutely become one of the bright spots of a very, very busy time of year for us. And that is this Hallmark Christmas ornament of Linus on stage, straight from the Charlie Brown Christmas special that we watch every year. And it's when he's telling Charlie Brown what Christmas is all about. And so if you will just indulge me for a minute, I'm going to play this so that you can have your reminder.
Lights, please. And there were in the same country shepherds, abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them. The glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host praising God, and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown.
And that's what Christmas is all about. My friend, my listeners, my prayer partners, my family, all of you who are with us listening in at Everyday Imperfect on Facebook or wherever else we may know each other. That's what Christmas is all about. So this year, as you might struggle to keep hold of that elusive Christmas spirit, remember there's a reason why we celebrate Christmas to begin with. And as long as we keep Him forefront in all that we do, that Christmas spirit won't elude you. Remember to make it a joyful time, guys, and enjoy your Christmas this year. By the way, we're going to put a link to the clip from that Charlie Brown Christmas special so that you could hear it again. And in the meantime, Merry Christmas. Join us next week, and we'll talk more about what you can expect in this next year with Everyday Imperfect. Thank you, guys. Hey, friend, thank you so much for joining us on today's podcast. Check the show notes for any links and resources we may have mentioned, and please do me a big favor and leave us 5 stars on the podcast platform where you found us. And if you can't give us 5 stars, tell us how we can get those 5 stars. That's how other people can find out about us and the message we're trying to get out, that it's okay for us to be imperfect in our everyday life because we follow Jesus Christ, who is perfect for us. Also, if you'll go to the Buzzsprout link in the show notes, you can leave me fan mail. That's basically where you tell me what you think about the show and make suggestions for upcoming topics. I can't wait to hear from you. Now, please share this imperfect episode with your imperfect friends and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode releasing soon.